YouTube. What's the dealio? What's the dealio? We got a good topic today. We got a good topic today. We going in today. If you just tuning in, say what up. Say what up. All right. If you just tuning in, say what's up. What's the dealio? What's the dealio? We gonna talk about some stuff. I'm gonna help everybody have some more breakthroughs, man. I'm gonna help everybody have some more breakthroughs. What's up, Marley? What's the deal? What's up, Shali? What up? What up? The 2 day ones. Yo, when I first started on YouTube, and I started doing lives, it was Shali and Marley. Them was the two. All right, so shout out to y'all, man, for real. It was us three on live, and that's it. So shout out to that, man. All right. Shout out to that. If you just tapping in, say what's up, say what's up. Let me know where you tuning in from. All right. We're going to talk about some important stuff today. All right. Some important stuff. What's up? What's up, B Killer? What's up, Black Rose? Miss Virgo? What up, Q Tisha? What up, the Dealio? What's the Dealio? All right, we're gonna talk about some. It's really important, man. We're gonna talk about some important stuff. If you're on right now, do me a favor and like this video. All right, like this video. I want to get this video to 50 likes. 50 likes. All right. Yeah, it was just the three of us. All right. So check it out, man. Ooh, okay. Quinn got an hour drive. That's what's up. Yeah, you're going to like this one. So look, man, I want to talk about how to take L's, right? And not only how to take L's, not like, oh, you know, you broke and it's bad stuff, but more so how to recover from the losses, right? I want to talk about how to recover from the losses. And so it's a couple things. It's a couple things that matter, right? That are very, very, very important. So first things first, I want you guys to think about trading, right? Trading and also like, you know, investing and stuff. Like, it's this world, right? And it's a world that sometimes is just infinite. And because the world of trading and investing is so infinite, and it's, you know, depending on the economy and how the economy goes, there are a lot of things that you cannot predict, right? There are a lot of things that you can't predict. And so if things happen that you can't predict, not everything is always going to go your way, right? And so it's really about maturity and understanding, right? Maturity and understanding. So everybody wants to like be a millionaire in the stock market. I understand it. But in order to get there, in order to go make life-changing money, you got to put yourself in a mental place where you understand the totality of the game, right? So I want you to think about an area in your life where you're very familiar with it, right? Area, what's up, Moneybag Jeff? What's up, Ron? I want you to think about an area of your life that you're very familiar with, right? Now, that area of your life, I want you to think about the good and the bad that comes with it, right? In every industry, in every part of life, there's good and there's bad that comes with it, right? What's up, Gwen? There's good and bad, right? So when you are in anything, you're going to have good times and you're going to have bad times. It doesn't matter. Nothing is perfect, right? We can look at celebrities, NBA players, NFL players, right? The biggest names in the world. They got dark days too. So I say that to say Let me turn the air on real quick. I was hot last time. All right. I was hot last time. But all these celebrities and stuff, they all have good days, bad days, good times, bad times, right? Dark periods and very, life-changing periods. Okay, so with that being said, we got to understand the whole totality of trading, right? And when we looking at trading, we got bull markets, bear markets. We got, big wins. We got maybe big L's, small L's, right? But what we have to do is, once we understand the totality of the game, we could protect ourselves from the downside and we could limit the downside, right? This is all psychology. I want to be very clear here. This is all psychology, all right? Let's make sure to like this video because we about to spit some real stuff. This is all psychology. So everybody wants to know the play, right? What stock? What do I need to buy? But the psychology matters and risk management matters. And what happens when I'm in a play that went south that I wasn't expecting to go south? Do I have the skill set to know how to maneuver that, right? So everybody takes L's, all right? Everybody takes L's. Point blank period. I don't care who you are. Everybody takes L's, right? Now, the important part to understand is what's the psychology behind the L, right? This is the important part. What is the psychology behind the loss and also the lesson, right? So what I've learned was the reason why people lose so much money in trading and they're not able to recover is because things that may happen when they was younger that they haven't recovered from. So you can't recover from an L, right, a loss, if you haven't been able to recover from the lessons you needed to learn from back when you was a kid, right? This stuff goes deep. So understand what I'm saying. The way you handle a loss as an adult is a spitting image of the way you handle a loss as a kid, right? If you have not grown past that, then you're gonna still be taking L's that's the same way and perceiving them the same way as when you were a child, and you're not gonna be able to make no more money, right? So the stock market is very infinite, right? There's a million opportunities every single day. And what happens is we get so overwhelmed and excited about the possibilities that we don't discipline ourselves to be able to only see certain things. And what this does is this causes us to lose. Hear what I'm saying? This stuff is very deep. You look at a chart right now, right? Let me show you something. I want y'all to see, right? Look at HIMS. You could have made money here, right? To the downside. You could have made money to the upside right here. You could have made money to the downside right here. You could have made money to the upside right there, right? You could have made money right here. Okay, that's today on one stock. We go to Alibaba. Could have made money up here. You could have made money right here, right? You could have made money right here. You go to Netflix, right? You could have made money up here. You could have made money to the downside. Could have made money to the downside right there, right? Now, why am I showing you that? There are so many opportunities in the market. But when you don't have a structure, when you don't have a way to discipline yourself, when you don't have an outline, you're going to go crazy. And when you go crazy, you're going to end up blowing your account. Hear what I'm saying? Discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom. A lot of people think that you don't need the discipline to be free, right? People that are free is just do whatever they want to do. No, let me tell you, people that are disciplined do whatever they want to do because they've created an outline and a structure, and they follow that structure, and that gives them the freedom to operate within that outline and within that structure, right? This is the foundation of risk management. This is the foundation of risk management. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So as a trader, we got to figure out how to discipline ourselves in a sea full of infinite opportunities. You see all these charts, you can't just go do whatever you want to do. You can't go do whatever you want to do, even though it looks like that. Because if you just go do whatever you want to do in an infinite space, you gonna get put in the blender, and what are you gonna become? Say it with me. A smoothie. All right? A smoothie. The goal is not to get blended up, right? The goal is to extract profits out of the market on a consistent basis. On a consistent basis. And the only way we can do that is, first things first, we need to have an outline and a structure of how we are approaching the market. So first things first, did y'all say it with me? Let me know in the comments if you said it with me. All right. We need to be able to have a methodical and a strategic approach to the game, right? This is the first line of defense. The first line of defense. We have to have an outline and a structure to be able to ensure that we're not always losing money, right? This is how you ensure you don't blow up your account. I don't want you blowing up your account, right? So now, I always say it with you. Listen, if I go look, this is what a smoothie is, right? It's like a juice, but you see right here, this is a guava fruit, right? It's a guava fruit. Before this was a drink, it was whole. So you are whole, and then you go into the market, and then you become this right here. Do not get blended. Do not become a smoothie. Right? Do not become a smoothie. All right? Don't get blended. Now, with that being said, this is the foundation of risk management. The foundation of risk management is personal accountability and maturity. He said, I'm crying. Hey, you got to have fun with it, all right? You got to have fun with it, okay? Hey, smoothies look good only for your consumption, but you don't want to be the one getting consumed by the market, all right? So, you as a trader, when we're talking about risk management, you have to create the structures and the disciplines within yourself, right? And I'm talking in this way, very methodical, for a reason. Now, this is not a topic that is super popular, right? Everybody just wants to know what plays to get. Nobody wants to know how to think, right? So stay with me, and we're going to get where we want to get to. All right? So, you have to create the structure within yourself and within the way you think to be able to win in the market. Because you got to be able to control yourself, control your thinking, control your mind. All right? If you're just watching this video, drop in the comments, say what's up. Let me know where you're tuning in from if you have not. And be sure to like this video for me, all right? Let's get this video to 50 likes. Now, risk management, let's go deeper into it now, right? Let's go deeper into it. So, if you have an account, right? A brokerage account, a trading account. Let's say your trading account is $1,500, right? $1,000 and $1,500. Here's what's important. You should not be taking L's that are $500, $1,000, right? That is poor risk management, right? That is poor risk management. All right, what's up, JT? What up, life is great? That's poor risk management. If you have an account and you got $1,500, right? You got $1,500 in there. When you take one trade, you should not be spending and investing more than, I would say, $200 to $300. Okay? If you got an account of $1,500, and I would not be investing more than $200 to $300 in a play, in a trade. Okay? That way, let's say you invest $300 and you lose, let's say 20%. Let's say your stop loss is 20%. 20% of $300 is $60. I would rather you lose $60 out of your account that has $1,500, because if you take an L of $60 and you have an account of $1,500, you're only at $1,440, right? But the mistake that I see people making is their account is $1,500 and they're investing $500, $700 in the play, and in that play, something goes sour. We have an unpredictable rug pull. Now their play is down 50 to 70%. Now that $600 is only worth $200 or $150. Now their account went from $1,500 to $800. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So now you lost almost half of your account value because you're being overzealous and you aren't practicing proper risk management, because you're so focused on just trying to make big money when you need to understand that the way to make big money in the stock market is to make little money over and over again. And I'm not saying little money. I'm saying consistent profits is really what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Consistent profits, right? Consistent profits. It does you and your account no good if you make 500 one day and you lose 300 the next day, and then the next day you make 200, and then the next day you lose 700. That is not going to serve you well. You got to get to a place where you are practicing proper risk management. Anytime, like in the beginning phases of last year, the middle of last year, whenever I oversized, I paid for it. I paid for it, y'all. I'm trying to give you this game so that you cannot have to go through the pain and the agony of being a trader full-time and consistently. Right? So let me know if that makes sense. If y'all got questions, drop them in the comments, because we really about to go in on this even more. I got a lot I want to share with you about this concept. All right? Lando said, you need to do a short on YouTube with that. Don't get in the blender and a smoothie in the market. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. All right. And I'm going to make a short on it for sure. We're going to have fun with that one. Ish said, I'm going to smoothie it up right now. Yeah. Don't listen. Here's the thing. It happens. We all go through it. It ain't no trader on planet Earth that ain't took an L that was bigger than what they wanted to take. But the goal is to not get comfortable being smoothie. All right? Stop. You got to look in the mirror and be like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I always getting in this situation where I'm always down 50%? Why am I always in a situation where I'm down 45, 60%? And what did I say on Tuesday? the way that you are in the market is the way you are in your life. So if you always get in a position where you always down 60% in your personal life, you always are finding yourself in situations that are worse than what they need to be. And it was because you didn't have boundaries, or you didn't have the rules in place, and you didn't have a stop loss for your life. All right. Real talk. Mike says, stay away from the blender. It's lethal. It's very sharp too. All right. Sharon from South Haven. Okay. What's up, Maria? What's going on? Gwen said facts. All right, cool. So here's something that I want to share from the perspective of risk management. All right. So when we are trading, right? When we're trading, I want you to understand this. I look at trading like a business. All right. TradeZella is lit. I love TradeZella, Brielle. All right, I definitely recommend that. So you on the right path for sure. But so I like to treat trading like a business. I think about it like that, right? So let me give you some perspective on this whole thing, right? Let me give you some perspective on this. When you look at a business has something called operating expenses, right? If a business has something called operating expenses, that means that every month they have to pay to keep the lights on and to operate as a business. So some businesses, their monthly expenses, let's just say $10,000 a month, right? And then you got gross profits, et cetera, et cetera. But let's say that their top line revenue is $25,000 a month, and then all of their expenses monthly is $10,000 a month, right? Let's say 15K. Expenses are 15K, and they're making 25K a month. And let me blow your mind right here, right? So they're profiting $10,000 a month, right? Now, here's the mindset shift. Let's say you're trading and you are profiting $10,000 a month, right? Okay. Sounds good. But when you start learning where your inefficiencies are in your trading, you can essentially drop your expenses, your monthly expenses. So if I take my business from having to pay $15,000 a month in expenses, and I could drop that down to $10,000 a month, now I'm gonna make an extra $60K a year in the business, right? So you wanna look at your trades and your losses like your rent, right? Like your business rent. All of these small things. The things, whenever you take an L, that is your operating expenses for the actual business. And the only way that you're going to take less L's and pay less on your expenses and get your expenses down is to take less L's. And the way that you take less L's is you need to become more efficient as a trader, as a person, as a thinker. The more efficient you start to become with your thinking, the more efficient you start to become when you're trading with your entries, the more efficient you become, the more money you're going to be making in profit, and you're not going to be giving money to the market as much. And the money that you give to the market, that's just your operating expenses for you to run this business that we call trading. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. Because this is real life, y'all. This is real life. Trading is a business. And every L you take is just operating expenses. So every business that's new, right? If you start a business, your first year, you're usually not going to be profitable, right? You're usually not going to be profitable. Why is that? Because you're trying to figure out your business. You're trying to figure out how you market. You're trying to figure out how much things are going to cost for you to run and operate this business. It's the same with trading, right? But if you can start thinking like this now, you got a head start and you could get to profitability faster, right? And I like to be proactive, right? In this video, I said how to recover from losses. The best way to recover from a loss is to mitigate your potential losses. The best way to recover from losses is to mitigate your potential losses. And the way that you mitigate your potential losses is by being proactive with what could happen. With what could happen. And that's why risk management is so important, but also maturity is so important. Maturity and the way that you think. Trading is not gambling. All right? Trading is not gambling. I made a whole video about how trading is not gambling. If you haven't watched it, go watch it at a different time. Right? Trying to make it to the NFL, I have a better chance to become a multimillionaire in the stock market than trying to make it to the NFL. So if trading is gambling, trying to make it to the NBA is gambling. Trying to make it to the NFL is gambling, right? I have a better chance being a multimillionaire in the stock market than I do getting struck by lightning. Trading is not gambling. Trading is a business. And a lot of people just don't know how to run their business. And that's why they're losing so much money every single day. That's why they got $2,000 in their account and they go take $1,500 and put it in on one play. And then they lose 50% and now they down $800 and they mad, right? I want you to ask yourself, if you only had $2,000 to market your business, would you go put $1,800 on one marketing strategy? No, because you will be managing your risk, because in the event that that doesn't go the right way, you will lose all of that money and then you'll only have a couple $100 left over out of that $200. And now you're going to have to build from $400 instead of the initial $2,000. Let me know if that makes sense. When you're becoming a profitable trader, you are building a business, yo. This is why they say preserve your capital at all costs. This is why they say preserve your capital, protect your capital. This is why they say if you don't see a good setup, don't take it, because this is a business. If you had a business, would you just be throwing your money willy-nilly? No, you wouldn't. You would be waiting for particular things, right? You would be putting a specific amount of money. You would create a budget, right? Creating a budget for your business is no different than risk management. Okay, I got $2,000 in this account. I'm only going to risk $300 per trade or $400 per trade at the max. That's creating a budget for your trading. That's creating a budget for your trading. All right? So, I want you guys to understand this is extremely important. Trading is a business. Your losses are your monthly expenses for your business. The more that you lose money, your business has higher operating expenses. And your job as a business owner of your trading account is to figure out how we can mitigate our expenses, i.e. our losses, and lose less, so that way we can increase our P&L and make more money. Do you hear what I'm saying? We got more. I got some heat right here, right? I want to make sure you understand that. Let me know if you feeling what I'm saying. Let me know if you feeling what I'm saying right now. Because this stuff right here, they ain't talking about this stuff. You go on YouTube right now, all they're gonna tell you is a put and a call. They're gonna give you the basic information, right? This is the stuff that matters. This is the stuff that matters. This right here, this is gonna take you to 3x your account next month. This is how you're going to 3x your account this month. By thinking more efficiently, by thinking different, by thinking like a business professional, a businessman, a businesswoman. This is how you're going to get there. You're not going to get there by consuming the same basic information over and over again, right? We got to learn how to go deeper on certain topics, even if they're not as popular, right? Because the truth don't always rhyme, right? The truth ain't always the pretty thing. The truth sometimes is ugly. Sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes the truth is uncomfortable. But the truth, when you really lean into it, you gotta really, really, really lean into it. And when you do, you really could explode your life. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Trees? My losses are operating expenses are like that. Yeah, very important. They're talking about it. You just have to pay top dollar for it. Yep. And look, me personally, I look at this stuff like kind of common sense, right? In a perspective of like, how do I become more efficient with how I'm making money, right? Yes, you can make a lot of money in the stock market, but sometimes it ain't always about trying to, get a gazillion dollars for something, right? Sometimes you got to learn how to just give. All right. What's up, Jerry? So, absolutely. Now, with that being said, let's go into some more risk management. All right. And then we're going to talk about recovering from your losses. Like I say, the best way to recover from your losses is to mitigate your potential losses. Now, all right. So we got one thing. So when you are trading, I want you to look at your capital also like research, okay? If you look at any big business, big company, they got a department, and that department is called R&D. What does R&D mean? I'm going to give it a quick second. If you know what R&D means, put it in the comments. From a company perspective, right? When a company has an R&D department, what does that mean? What it means is research and development, right? Research and development, right? Now, what does that mean? If you've never traded before consistently and made profits consistently, you are going to have a period of time. Exactly, Ron. You're going to have a period of time where you're trying out things, trying to figure out your edge, trying to figure out the best way to go about it for you that makes sense for you and your brain. Right? Think about it. Think about it. So your money, a portion of that money has to be for research and development, right? And if you do take a loss, you're paying for your own personal research and development. You get what I'm saying? Tell me if that makes sense. You can't just come into trading with $2,000 and go make $1 million like that. Unless you had an edge or somebody was telling you exactly what to buy, exactly when to get in, and exactly when to get out. If you're using your mind to build this up, you're going to take losses, but you're also going to be having research and development and learning and understanding like what's going on, right? So sometimes your losses is literally just a something that you learned because you had to take the play so that you could figure out how this thing works, right? Yeah, definitely get the likes up in here. All right, let's get this video up to 50 likes real quick. And yeah, if you got people, man, share this with them for sure. Share this channel with them too. All right, we ain't always only just talking about trading. We talking about how to become a better individual. Because I always say, trading teaches you about life, and life teaches you about trading. Trading teaches you about yourself, and you knowing about yourself teaches you about trading. All right? It's a symbiotic relationship. What is a symbiotic relationship? A symbiotic relationship is things are working together, right, for a specific purpose and task. So you learning yourself and you learning trading, those are working together. It's a symbiotic relationship, and the more that you dive into yourself, the better trader you're going to become. The more honest you get with yourself, the better of a trader you're going to become. The better of a trader you become, the better of a person you're going to become, because you're going to be looking at things from that perspective and saying, you know what, I got this. You know what, I'm going to try this out. You know what, I'm going to be more patient in my life about X, Y, and Z, right? So you want to understand that a portion of your money is going to be for research and development. So when you take a loss, you got operating expenses and you also got research and development, right? Research and development. I'm going to tell you guys a story about one of my losses, right? I remember last year, it was like the summertime, around the summertime, right? It was before my birthday. Me and Shali, we was at the house. I was trading. It was on a Friday, right? It was on a Friday. Traded. I took an L. I think that day I lost like 2 or 3 trades. I believe I over traded or I revenge traded, and I was down like 700-800 on the day, right? And so we was back testing. I was pissed off, right? I was heated. And so the day was over, a couple hours went by, and I was kind of like, I was done being mentally hijacked. And I was like, all right, we was talking, and we were just talking. And then we had a conversation about levels and support and resistance. And then I had realized that I was taking entries when I didn't need to be taking those entries, right? Because we were just kind of like brainstorming and masterminding together about it, right? About the day. And so I was like, okay. And then like we talked for about an hour and a half about all of this. And then I felt so much better. Why did I feel better? Why was I even able to have that conversation? I felt like I had a breakthrough that day. The reason why I felt like I had a breakthrough is because I took those L's, and those L's opened me up to being open to having a certain conversation. And the conversation we had, it helped give me more clarity. And the clarity that I got from that conversation that me and Shali had, I got better as a trader the next week. And this is the power of leaning into your losses and leaning into your losses and understanding that they're lessons. Your losses are only lessons when you lean into it. If you just take an L and you mad about it and that's it, you're going to keep taking the same L, right? It's like a video game. I don't even play video games, but when I was a kid, sometimes I did. I never had a console at the house, but I know video games. And when you don't learn a lesson, you got to go back to the same level and try to beat the boss again, right? It's the same concept. That's what life is. That's what trading is. You got to look at trading as a game. If you keep losing money, you're losing points, right? I look at money as just, numbers on the screen at this point. That's all it is. It's a game, right? So if I'm in a trade and I lose $100, I lost 100 points. I didn't lose $100 because that $100 was not about to go buy me something because that's in a brokerage account. I'm using this account to grow money, right? So lose points. So it's a video game. So if I keep losing, if I keep taking L's, I need to start to figure out, why am I taking the L's, right? And I need to do something different so I could beat the game, so I could get to the next level. So I can get to the next level. So if you keep taking L's, you got to ask yourself, why am I taking these L's? Why? Why am I taking the L's? And then if I keep taking these L's, right? If I keep taking these L's and I'm not doing anything different, I'm going to keep taking the same L's, because you got to understand, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So I want to ask you, are you happy with what you have been getting? If you are, then keep doing it. If you're not, then you got to do something different. And if you see that there's a better way, if somebody is saying something that, there's a better way, you should be open to that. But a lot of times we don't want to lose because we don't want to feel the pain of losing. But when you lose, you have certain lessons that have come to you to teach you something, and those L's help you go to the next level. So you can't go to the next level without taking the L's that are specific to you, right? Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. To the point of your video game analogy, when I stopped processing the market in dollars, my trading changed completely. Exactly. Because it's not your money until you withdraw it out of the brokerage account anyway. It's just some numbers on some screens going up and down, up and down, up and down. Right? It's not your money until you click sell and withdraw. And then you pull it out the bank, and then you got the dollars and you could use it for whatever you need. Right? Yes, my losses are operating expenses, research and development. Trading is a business, so treat it as such. The lessons are in the losses. All right? The lessons are in the losses. All right? So now, I got something else for you guys. Right? I got something else for you. The things you were deprived as a child become your addictions as an adult. Right? The things you were deprived of as a child becomes your addiction as an adult. Man, I hope y'all hearing what I'm saying. Now let me break this down for you. If you were deprived of, finances as a kid, your addiction could become money or the fear of not having money, right? Now, let me show you how deep this goes. Now, if you didn't have money as a child, your addiction is the fear of not having money or you needing it, right? And what that does, it influences how you're trading. I'm telling you. So if you are trading out of greed, you got to address what you got starved of when you was a kid, because that's influencing how you're trading and what your trading psychology is right now. I'm telling you. I don't know if y'all hearing what I'm saying. I don't know if you hearing what I'm saying, let me know. This is way deeper than just making some money, y'all. You got to be able to see above what's going on. You got to be able to step outside of yourself when you trading and look at yourself. If you was deprived of financial peace as a child, you are either going to operate out of greed or fear. And a lot of Americans, that was the case, because that's how this whole situation was created. So most of us, when we was growing up, we have had, financial chaos, and we've been operating out of financial fear as a kid. Money don't grow on trees. We ain't got it like that. Do you got McDonald's money? Do you got X money, right? I heard all of these things. So that's either going to make a child grow up and become fearful, or they're going to have extreme greed. And either or is not good. You want to have a balance and a harmony with your relationship of money. Let me know if you hear what I'm saying. Let me know if you hear what I'm saying. Don't be a ghost watcher. Let me know you hear what I'm saying, because I know how powerful this stuff is. Charlie said your relationship with money influences your trading. So remove the personal relationship with money. Turn it into a numbers instead, not dollars. Exactly. It's not dollars. It's not your money. It's not your money until you transfer it and withdraw it and put it into your bank account and use it. All right. Maria said deprived of money, mine is definitely greed. So now that we know it's greed, you got to balance that out, right? You got to balance it out. Yeah. How is it? 808 Banger here. Sorry, so late. What's up, 808 Banger? All right, we dropping some gems, man. We talking about the psychology of money, right? And really understanding why we're taking losses. That's what we're really talking about. Why do we take losses? And we're trying to, I feel like we're reverse engineering the reason why we even take L's, so that we can know how to handle L's, because we can't get away from them. All right. Appreciate it, QT. Appreciate it, Lola. I used to think that the stock market was only for the wealthy. Let me tell you that here's the joke, right? I love that you said that. The stock market is for those that choose to play the game. Those that choose to play the game and do it over time become wealthy. So it is for the wealthy, but it's only for the wealthy because they made themselves wealthy by playing the game. So in turn, that means that you are already wealthy because you're playing the game and the stock market is for you, and therefore you are the wealthy. Do you get what I'm saying here? Do you understand what I'm saying? So the stock market isn't for the wealthy. The stock market is for whoever chooses to play the game, and they end up becoming wealthy over time. And if you're playing a game over time, you're going to become wealthy. Therefore, you are one of the people that the wealthy, that you used to think that the stock market was only for these type of people. Does that make sense? We think that all these wealthy people, all they did was put money in some stocks and let it sit over 5, 10, 15 years. That's all they did. The stuff goes deep, y'all. All right? Man, that ain't no lie. I got turned to a strawberry smoothie being greedy today. See? Greed, man. Greed. We got to assess our relationship with money so we ain't being greedy and fearful. Unfortunately, a lot of us have ran through so much money throughout our lifetime and can't account for it. That's a big one right there. And because we ran through so much money, paying bills, right, spending it on bullshit, what happens is we don't want to put that money into investments and be patient. And that's why we be operating out of fear and greed, right? I always say a lot of people don't have enough money to be able to invest, even though they need to invest. And that's a cold part about the game. Investing takes time and patience. And that's what broke people don't have. They don't have time and they don't have patience because they need it right now. This stuff goes deep. Just got out of class. What's up, Mason? Yeah, watch this over. All right, we going in. We talking about real psychology stuff. This stuff will set you free spiritually. All right. Charlie said, I grew up very poor. I had a strong scarcity mindset and deep fear of losing money, not having enough to unweave that mindset to be a profitable trader. There's infinite money to be made. Abundance is our birthright. Exactly. Let me tell you something about Charlie, right? When I started trading, look, first off, she a lawyer, all right? So she went to Ivy League, Columbia, all right? Columbia is Ivy League. That's where Barack Obama went, right? So when I was trading and I started seeing it, I've always been in more like closer proximity to money over the past about 8 years, right? I didn't grow up around money, but when I got in my adulthood, I've been hustling, right? And so I started trading. I'm like, yo, Charlie, like, yo, you got to get on this stuff. This stuff is life-changing, right? And she would always tell me, I can't wrap my brain around it. I can't do it. And I was like, no, yes, you can. Stop saying that. You learn how to be a lawyer. You can learn this. And then what happened? Now she over here smacking the market every day. Come on now. It's all in your perception. I'm telling you, abundance is your birthright. It really is your birthright. Like no cap. Abundance is yours. You just got to tap into that frequency. All right. JT said a huge mindset shift. Thank you for your knowledge. I'm very grateful. I appreciate it, Lola. That's what I'm here for. That's right, Maria. Yep. So when we're talking about recovering from your losses, I'm trying to go into your own mind, your own brain, and I'm trying to rewire it for you, right? I'm trying to work with you to rewire your own brain, right? I am trying to help you rewire your own brain. There's something that I always say, and sometimes, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in like the lack, right? The lack energy. I ain't got this and blah, 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 blah. I got to pay all these bills and woo, woo, right? But there's something called the expectation effect, right? So let me give you guys another lesson and another story to further drive this point home and help you break through in your own life, right? There's something called the expectation effect. When I got into door-to-door solar, right? I got to a point where whenever I sat down in somebody's house and would give them a presentation about solar and why they need to get solar and the benefits of it, I used to start expecting them to say yes. It got to a point where I was shocked when somebody said no, because I felt like I was so excellent at what I did. I knew I would knock it out the park from beginning to end. I expected them to say yes. And that's why I was so successful. I was just smacking shit, right? Charlie could tell you. Now, when they said no, I was shocked. Now, why am I saying this? You got to get to a place in your mind where you are expecting to win. Even if you take an L in the market, I need you to start expecting to win. If you could put it in your mind that you expect to win on a subconscious level, you're going to take more winning trades because you're going to start expecting to win. You're going to be looking for the wins. Right? You're going to be looking for the wins. It's called confirmation bias. If you all down in the dumps, you're going to be looking for things to confirm that subconscious bias, right? But what happens when you start to expect to win? When you start to expect to win, you start winning more because your confirmation bias, you're looking for things that are supporting you to win, right? So let's say you're in a slump. Let's say it's been a bad week, a challenging week. Tomorrow and next week, I need you to do some work on yourself. I need you to meditate, and I need you to tell yourself, I expect to win. I expect to win. And I want you to approach the market like that every single day. If you can approach the market like that every day, you're going to win way more. And then when you do lose, you're going to be shocked that you didn't win, but you're not going to be mad about it because you're going to be in such a spirit of winning. This is how you change your game on a subconscious level. I literally expect to win every day because I expect to win. I intentionally seek winning trades. It's that simple. If y'all see Charlie P and L this month, she ain't just talking. She's not a talker. All right? She's not a talker. She just be living the facts. All right? We just spitting the facts right now. All right? So, it's the expectation effect. You gotta expect to win, right? If you are down on yourself every day, you are going to see more reasons for you to be down. You can call it the law of attraction as well, right? It's all energy, it's all frequency. You gotta get that stagnant energy up out of you. You gotta get that stagnant energy up out of you. You got to get that low vibrational energy up out of you, right? You got to vibrate on a higher frequency. You get what I'm saying? You got to start expecting to win. Expect good things to happen in your life. Affirm yourself. Affirm yourself every day. Get away from the toxic people. Get away from the BS. Get away from the low vibrations. Get away from the negativity. You gotta start expecting to win. Win, lose, or draw, I know I'm a winner. Period. And I have proven to myself time and time again that I am a winner. Right? So because I know I'm a winner, I never expect to lose for a long period of time. I understand that losing is part of the game, but I am not a loser. I am a winner. And that's why no matter where I've been at in life, I always elevated and I always rose because I'm a winner. Right? And what? A couple months, I was able to blow up the YouTube channel because I'm a winner. That's just what I do. I just win. What DJ Kaz, all I do is win, win, win no matter what. That's what we do. That's what I believe about myself. I'm going to get it. Anybody that know me, I'm going to get it. That's how it got to be for you. I'm a winner. I'm going to get it. I'm just going to figure it out. I'm going to win. I'm going to attract that joint. I'm a magnet of success. I tell myself that every single day. I am a magnet of success. I tell myself that every single day. Right? I expect to win, keep dropping the jewels, so needed. Every single day, Lola. Hey, if y'all watching this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Like this video, all right? If you want to trade with us, be sure to join the Discord, all right? For a limited time, we're doing $40, all right? We're doing $40 for the Discord, all right? Boom. So yeah, be sure to join that. I was in the blender today, but immediately shook it off. Was not gonna allow that loss to dictate my day. Exactly. Don't allow it to dictate your day. I know it's hard, right? I know it's hard, but you got to be able to live above that. QT said, you got me looking at Apple daily. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. I see Shiley smacking Apple every day, right? I was like, listen, let me start looking at Apple. I am not gonna lie. She in the other room, right? I'm in the living room, and she come out, she sent me her screenshot, 250, 300, 290 on Apple. And I wasn't trading Apple before. She got me looking at Apple. I told her, we traded Apple today. QT, how much did you make on Apple today? How much did you make on Apple today, QT? Right? How much you made on Apple today? Real talk. Charlie got me looking at Apple. All right, that cracks me up. Charlie got me looking at Apple. You and me both, Q-Tisha. Look, let's go over to Apple Play today. Once Q-Tisha drops it in the comments, we're gonna go over to Apple Play. I'm gonna share something on the charts with y'all real quick. All right, so that we could understand what's going on. Because when you trading, the goal is not to get in a trade and then be down 20%. That's not how trading is supposed to go. All right? A couple who trades together stays together. I love how my wife and I can trade together. Now, facts. Now, it's a beautiful thing when you both, understand the actual game for sure. Right? So, yeah, man, for real. So, QT, she said 174. All right, so let's look at Apple. Right? Let's look at Apple real quick. We're going to go to Apple. Apper, right? That's what she call it, Apper. All right, so let me look at this. Check this out real quick. So we're going to go to the Discord. All right. So, boom. We go to the watch list, right? Y'all see what they saying in here? No smoothie king, right? I'm serious about this smoothie stuff. We are not getting turned into smoothies out here, y'all. All right? But look, today, I said support is 220.51 and resistance is 222.12, right? Okay. So if Apple breaks above 222.12, then I'm going to get into calls, right? All right. So here is the level of 222.12. No, it's right here. All right, 222.12 right here, right? So, right? So, right here, boom, is that resistance level, right? Resistance level, okay? So I said if Apple breaks above this level, then I'm getting into calls. It broke above it. Right? We entered in right here, right? We entered in right here. You see how it's above all these EMAs right here? So we had room to go to the upside, all right? It came up here and it started stuttering for a good 20 minutes. I ended up getting out here. I made 8%, but Q-Tisha said she made 135%, right? So she probably only got one contract and made 174. That's beautiful. 135% on one trade, right? She just held it to the day's end. And look what happened. It broke above this level, and then she just rolled it up. Literally, just rolled it up all day. And then she got out somewhere around here. That's all she did. Resistance, it broke resistance, and she just rolled it up. Trading could literally be that simple. Trading could literally be that simple. It sounds simple, right? But the understanding and the know-how, that's the journey that we all got to go on. All right. Bobby said a couple who trades together stays together. No. Y'all should. Hey, look, join the Discord so you can avoid turning into, say it with me, a smoothie. All right? Listen, join the Discord, man. You are not going to lose as much money as if you just trying to figure this out on your own. And right now, it's only $40 a month. All right? 40 bucks a month right now. All right? So join the Discord, man. You're going to get so much game and sauce and wisdom and knowledge and know-how, right? So Q-Tisha, she said she made 174 on Apple today on that one call, and we've had the Discord. It hasn't even been a full 2 months. She's only paid $80. So she made 2 months worth of investment in one day. In one day. You get what I'm saying? So look, Q-Tisha spent 100 and maybe $30 on that one contract, and she got 135% on her money in a couple hours. Y'all see how this work? Y'all see how this work? Yeah, we definitely got some snipers in the Discord. We got the best Discord on the planet. Straight up. Straight up. That was nice and took discipline and patience. Stop loss was working more than me. Nah, I feel that. Nah, but you are, Q-Tisha, one thing I've seen and learned about you is you are a very patient trader, and that is going to pay dividends in the future as time continues to go forward. All right? That's beautiful. Maria said 206. Did you get out? I mean, did you make money in Apple, Maria? Maria, are you in a Discord? Are you in a Discord? Yeah, Mason. Yeah, you could have let a runner do what it do. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But if you held, you would have made more. You could have made less, right? At the end of the day, the name of the game is be okay with whatever decision you made. You know what I'm saying? Ish said, so true. I was much more profitable taking heed to the plays in the Discord. The very moment I make my own moves without the proper guidance turn into straight press juice. Yeah, see? And so it's like now you got to bounce back from that. So let me tell you how to bounce back from that. The way you bounce back from that is you admit your wrongs, you look in the mirror, and you be like, all right, until I get super confident, I'm going to just take these plays. I'm going to keep learning, right? I'm going to keep preserving my capital. And maybe when I'm taking my plays, I'll just get one contract just so I can see how the stock moves. So I could continue to build that confidence up within myself, right? That's how you do it. I was about to ask you, Maria, are you Women King? Okay. Now I got a name to the face. That's what's up. Yeah, you be doing your thing up in there. What's up, Caribbean Vibes? What's up, Caribbean Vibes? So yeah, this is how we get down. Every single day that the market is open, we're live trading. There's no live trading community, right, that trades every day that's giving it to you at where we giving it to you at. All right? So don't become a smoothie. All right? Do not get blended. Stop you losing, 50% of your account balance. Stop doing that stuff. Stop being undisciplined. Have an outline, have a structure of how you choose to trade. All right? I'm telling y'all, this is the name of the game. Risk management. Risk management. Preserve your capital. Protect your capital. Don't invest 50% of your account value on one play. You got to understand that consistent wins over time is what's going to make you rich. It ain't going to be that one play. All right. They say, yeah, I'm starting to be way more patient and get out early of losers, winners. You can't always leave runners green. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Don't let a green trade go red. You know what I'm saying? Don't let a green trade go red. All right. If you are on this video, my last ask is to like this video. Let's get this video to 50 likes. All right. If you're watching this and you have not, just do me a favor and like this video. All right. I drop gems every single day on this YouTube channel because I want to pour into the world. I want to help y'all, right? I want to help y'all change your life. All right. I started watching YouTube videos about stock options, and a year later, I'm in Colombia, right? So the power of YouTube is very real, and I want to be able to pay it forward, all right? So just like this video. That's all you got to do. If you know anybody, you know what I'm saying, who is trading, getting into trading, or, you know, they want to learn, just do me a favor and share my YouTube channel with them. That's all you got to do, all right? If you want to trade with us, join the Discord. I know that I give a lot of value every single day. A lot of value. All right? That's all I ask. All right? I know I'm going to be blessed. I'm already blessed. Life is good. I'm grateful for it all. I just want to be able to help you guys get what you want in your life. Right? That's what's important to me. It's helping y'all turn up your life. You know what I'm saying? Helping you change your life. You know what I mean? Helping you teach your sister or your mom how to trade because you learned how to trade from my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Like, that's what this is really about here. EQ said, facts the best Discord. I didn't start winning trades till I joined. Now I can trade on my own with a better mindset. Learn so much every day. Hey, we appreciate it. What's your username in the Discord, Q? EQ. Yeah, what's your username? Absolutely, Woman King, every single day. Yeah, Caribbean vibes. I would say, man, learn to join the Discord, and you could trade with us so you could earn and you could learn, right? So you learning while you're making money, and then you can start figuring it out. You don't want to try to figure this out on your own for a year when you could have sped it up. You know what I mean? Maria said, I want to teach my kids, and that's the power in it. You learning how to do this now. So now that you're learning how to do this, you're going to be able to teach your kids no problem. You're going to be able to teach your kids no problem. And your kids will never have to go through what you went through. They never going to have to, you know, depend on somebody to hire them. Because they going to be able to print money in the stock market. Stock market ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? That's the power of it. I'm in South America right now, right? I'm in South America right now making money in the stock market. Feel me? So this is what it's about, y'all. This is what it's about. It's about changing your lineage, changing everything about the future of your bloodline and what it all represents from you. You get what I'm saying? This is what it's about. You feel me? So understand the game. Understand what this is about. We talked about a lot today. Oh, game tokens. Okay. Yeah. Now at game tokens, I think you a silent killer too, because you be making your trades, but you just be quiet. And that's what I like about the Discord. Everybody got their own style. You know what I mean? We got a lot of people that is just silent, but they be getting to it. You know? So yeah. Most people, they don't think it's an art or a skill. They just like, you know, they think it's gambling or whatever. But George said legacy. Yeah, nah, facts. This is what we doing it for. You know what I mean? If I was to pass away tomorrow, you could come. You gonna come to my YouTube, and it's gonna live on forever. You know what I mean? I started the YouTube and really started talking about stocks because I wanted it to be like an online journal for me, right? So we got TradeZella, that's a trading journal, but I wanted to make a trading journal that was public, right? So when I have kids, I'm gonna be able to be like, hey, this was your dad. This is why, you know what I mean, it took a while to create you. This is what I was doing. Before you was born, This is what I was doing. Go look at YouTube. I'm going to be able to show my kids that. You know what I mean? Caribbean Vibes. The Discord is right here. All right. It's only $40 a month. We live trade every single day. All right. So join that. You're going to have your brokerage account and all that stuff. And then, yeah, just take trades with us. Learn it. You're going to learn it. You're going to get better. And then you're going to be able to start doing it on your own. All right. So that's what this is about. So I'm going to sign off with this. I want y'all to do this with me. All right. I want you to repeat after me. This is why it took a while to create you. Nah, for real. Real talk. I don't want to bring no kid into this world struggling. I don't want to bring this kid into this world without having certain things already situated. You know what I mean? Oh, Swole Trades. Yeah, okay. Nah, Swole Trades, hey, you be killing it too. Look, let me show y'all something real quick, and then we're going to get off. Real quick, look at this. All right, Swole Trades, right? Look, I'm not just talking about this stuff. Let's go up here in the profits tab. Look, Swole Trades, right? 84, right? That's what he said, right? Swole Trades 84 in the chat. He hit Shopify for 170. He hit Tesla for 286. All right. That is over $400 on a day, right? And look, this was Q-Tisha right here. Oh, hold on. I ain't shared the screen. Look. Boom. Right? Swole Trades 84, right? 170 on Shop, and then 286 on Tesla, right? And Q-Tisha, she made 135% on Apple off of one contract, off of the play that we closed out right before pullback. She a sniper with it, all right? That's how we get down. So I ain't just saying this stuff just to talk. We really do this. All right. I'm not a guru. I'm a guru. All right. I do this. You feel me? So be sure to like this video. All right. If you're watching this, like this video. If you have not already, like this video. And always remember, he said, I was using your wisdom. Hey, that's what it's about. Right. Each one teach one. Now you over here print money in the stock market like the Federal Reserve. You know what I'm saying? You get to lift your weights, do your thing, live your life, and you print money in the stock market. That's how we get down. That's why life is a blessing. And that's why I love doing this every day. Like, real talk, I'm proud of everybody in there. Y'all doing y'all thing. She said a do-goo. No, a do-roo. You know how you got gurus? I'm a do-roo. All right? Yeah, Best Be Killer is a killer too. We got some machines in there, yo. Some savages in the group. Not everybody talks. Not everybody is loud, but we got people in there making some real good money. All right. So, always remember, y'all. Say it with me. Thou will not become a what? A smoothie. All right. Thou will not become a smoothie in the stock market. All right. Always remember. Get out of your head, y'all. Go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. And also remember, the more you study, the less you worry. So make sure you study and you get in them books. All right? So with that all being said, for real. All right, with that all being said, y'all, we're going to sign off. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to sign off, man. We're going to get into the market tomorrow. If you have not, join the Discord. The link is in the description. Tomorrow's Friday. We're going to end off the week strong. And then we're going to have a great next week. And we're going to have a great April. All right? I'm going to holler at you guys tomorrow on the next video. I'm going live on Sunday for the weekly watch list. All right? So be sure to tune into that. I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.